Good afternoon. This D'var Torah would be something I would give during an afternoon/evening service, Shabbat service at Handmaker Jewish Services for the Aging. We have our Shabbat services at 4:30 in the afternoon, so debatable whether that's afternoon or evening. But it would be given after I had done or led a Torah discussion group in the morning. So I always like to reference what we discussed in the morning session in my evening drash. This morning in our Torah discussion group, we explored the first known precedent of a son following the advice of his father-in-law. Yitro had recently reunited with Moses and the Israelites after they had crossed the Sea of Reeds. As many in-laws do, he arrives ready to give his observations and ultimately moral support. When Yitro observes Moses impartially as somewhat of a newcomer to the tribe, he sees Moses bearing the weight of the world on his shoulders. Yitro points out to Moses that he cannot take on the huge responsibility of being a leader without some help. He suggests that Moses appoint wise elders or judges to help navigate disputes and misunderstandings. The Parsha continues with a huge turning point for the Jewish people, the receiving of the Ten Commandments. These words have become universal for many people, countries, and religions. We are not actually told that they are commandments. Rather, the passage is introduced as dibrot, or things. Dibrot can also be translated as words. Why are the Israelites at this point compelled to not only adhere to, but also internalize these things or words? Nowhere in the passage does it say that we must follow these instructions. Rather, God speaks, and we intrinsically understand that this is what we are supposed to do. Looking at the Aseret HaDibrot through this lens, you can see that we always have a choice. Just as with laws, we can choose to follow or not follow them. The Ten Commandments are more than suggestions, though. They represent a major milestone for the Jewish people, taking us from a tribe believing in one God to a nation with a prescribed moral code. Rabbi Bradley Shavit Artson in the Everyday Torah looks at just how these words or things were given. He explains that the sages noticed an unnecessary word in the text. Exodus chapter 20 verse 1 tells us, God spoke all these words. In Midrash Shemot Rabbah, the sages ask why the word all was needed. Rabbi Artson asks, wouldn't the sentence have worked just as well without it? The Ten Commandments can be seen as one major section or chunk of an entire set of laws and knowledge that was given to us. According to the Talmud, in Gittin 60a, the Torah was given portion by portion. At Sinai, the Israelites were still a young nation. Had God given us the entire Torah at that time, we would not have been able to understand it, let alone live by its precepts. The word all gives us an idea that there might be more things or words to come. This morning, looking at the major milestones and significant turns in both our own and our people's histories, we can see that we are just not designed to have or do everything all at once. Frustrating as it may be for type A personalities like myself, if I try to do everything all at once, I will only fail. Whether it's homework, housework, or self-improvement, trying to do it all only leads to frustration and ultimately giving up or failing. The Ten Commandments then can be seen as a reminder that each thing or moment in our lives has its appropriate time, and that with time we can grow to not only manage each piece or chunk, but also to understand how to put them all together and to make meaning. Shabbat Shalom.